Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Matty Ice here with a brand new video, and today I'm gonna be doing a review of the Dissolving Classroom by Junji Ito. Now, Junji Ito is one of my favorite manga artists, I would say, or just mangaka in general, because I bought a few of his like a few of his books, because he mostly does like one shots or like short stories, like anthology stuff, or books that turn into anthologies. But like I was like he's had some series that had like a couple volumes, like I'm pretty sure I think it was a Maki had like two or three volumes before it got put in deluxe edition at one point. There's a couple other that had like a couple volumes, but nowadays like you just buy them as one because they're put in deluxe editions to all the volumes put into like just one book. But again, like a lot of the stuff is just short stories and stuff. And that this is no different. This is just a collection of short stories that connect in each story. And the reason why they connect is these two characters appear in each of them. So Yuma is the older brother, and then is it Chimo or Chima is the younger sister of the brother. Who obviously, if you could look at the cover, you could tell like the older brother's more of a calm one and stuff, and the sister is just the crazy one. And so it kind of starts out Yuma gets introduced, like the first short story, which has the same name as the book. Like the first story kind of starts out that he gets introduced to this school, to this classroom that he's going to be in. And he just immediately apologizes to the whole class. And people thought it was super weird. Like that people like, that why is this guy apologizing to us? Like, literally, he did nothing wrong. And that people start making fun of him for it. Like he has a group of bullies that make fun of him, and people just thought it was weird, except this one girl who tried to help him out, and and yeah, so all this stuff starts going on with him, and they talked about how he doesn't have parents, and like how they would beat him, and like how they were super like strict with him and his sister, and that the way that he would get it out was by killing like snakes and frogs and stuff, like small animals and bugs. But like later on in the story, that she meets this crazy looking little girl who just follows her everywhere, and she gets freaked out and obviously runs away. But that the little girl catches up to this, like older schoolgirl, and explains to her that, you know, like the sky is lying and that he actually did a ritual and made a deal with the devil. So now like him and the devil talk, and that's why he apologizes so much. And that like after a while, people's brains will dissolve, and just all this other stuff. And obviously he was freaked out, but Yuma tries to cover this up. He's like, nah, like she's crazy. That she lost her mind after the parents died. But it turns out it was true because the boys died one day, and then like just all of a sudden everyone died, like at the school because the brains melted, and obviously it was because of like Yuma, and it turns out it was true that like Yuma made a deal with the devil, and so the only survivor was the girl that tried to help him in the very beginning, but she had partial, so her brain dissolved partially, and that she had permanent brain damage and she's in the hospital now. And that's how the first one ends. But like the rest of the stories, there's five in total, and then like two bonus stories that are like a couple pages each that are also super weird, but they're not connected, so I'm not going to review them because again they were like a couple pages. They were just like short stories. But but yeah, so like as each story goes on, like their plan gets more elaborate, and so that they discover more things about the power, and more people die obviously, but it gets really disturbing at points because like the third story, I think it was like that they lived in an apartment and that they were getting abused because that he can bring the parents back to life, but now he's getting abused because of it. And what I thought was like what I thought was disturbing, and obviously that this book probably isn't for you if like you're sensitive to that type of thing of like abuse and child abuse and all that. So I would not recommend it, that story, because again all these are short stories but they're connected with like one overarching theme, and like the two characters that keep coming back in each story. But it gets really disturbing. And it gets weird at points too, like that they keep the people that they kill or that like the people that dissolve, which I kind of thought was weird because at first it was just the brains that dissolved, and but like the bodies were kept there, like were kept, but then like you find out like it's like the whole body dissolves, which I thought was weird, but but yeah, there was a bunch of weird things like the bottle. They keep the people in the bottles that they dissolved, and then they start talking at one point to a kid that they kidnapped. So like this point it gets weird, and there was a point where they get caught, and that they know, that they knew that they got caught pretty much, and like this story I thought was okay. Like like obviously there was points where I thought the story was good, and then but like it was a mix. Like some parts I thought was like some stories I thought were but some stories I thought were good. And like I do like the ending actually. I liked how like Junji Ito left it open ended, and like at the very end he says that leave the ending to your imagination. Like that's what he wanted to do, was leave the ending to your imagination on like what happened to them and like what happened to everyone else that was there with them. And but for me, like where the book stands out the most was the artwork, and I thought the artwork was fantastic in this one. As usual, I think that Junji Ito is usually a really good artist, and again, like he's my favorite. I think like horror, like in terms of horror, he's my favorite artist because I think he just does such a good job, and, that's why that's what I feel that like a lot of these, like a lot of his stories, that's where I feel I get like the most disturbed is from the artwork, from his story, like from his books, because the stories sometimes differ from like how good the stories are, but again, it's always the artwork that stays consistent for me, and so this is gonna be in my nightmares for the rest of my life. I think like that girl, like she's gonna be in my nightmares. But overall, like I thought the story was okay, but I did like how he left it open ended and like how like he wanted us to think about it. But I thought the art stood out the most in the series, and I think I might give it an 8 just to be nice, just because I think the artwork is just that good, and I enjoyed myself through this whole book, and like it's a pretty quick read too. Like that's why like it's a pretty quick read. It's not easy at points just because like the subject matter, like the abuse, I thought was not an easy part to read. But overall, I thought it was a good book. The artwork was great, and so like I would definitely be picking up more Junji Ito stuff because there's always stuff that is finally getting translated. Because again, like he writes so many short stories that never been translated, and now now a lot of them are getting translated. He's getting like a lot of books now. Like like I think last year he had like 4 or 5 books. This year I think he's had a few also that came out. So like he's getting a lot of books now, but again like there was so much material that wasn't translated to English and brought over to America that finally is. But like I would recommend this book to anyone who just likes horror. Like it was like a solid enough book where I would recommend it. So like if you like horror and like if you're good enough to accept through some of the abuse stuff and like the all that, then I think you guys will enjoy this book too. Again, an 8 out of 10. It's not my favorite Junji Ito book, but it's not my least favorite either. Like it's somewhere in the middle for me. But like but I've also read a few too. But I will see you guys next time for a review, and I should be coming out with a new review soon of Cutie Honey, which which I actually started before this, but I never got to finish it yet because of my concussion. But I would definitely try to finish that and then finish up like my thoughts about it, and I would definitely put that out soon. But see you guys later. This is Maddie signing out.